We are live.
Right, good evening. Welcome to Richard Mann Show on behalf of Cannon Fodder TV. And tonight we're going to start off with a quick reaction to both the Lionesses matches. First of all, England versus US of A. And of course, I've got to say, I found that a really, really exciting game.
It was a very good game, wasn't it? I mean, I think we struggled probably first 10 minutes of the game
Yeah.
to get around the USA press, but it's something they do really well. So
Mm.
uh, then we, as I said, we it was around about that 10-minute mark we scored, wasn't it? It was a good. It was a they missed the interception, and it was a nice little finish there. So and then by then the USA came in. There was an and they got is it Sabina Smith? She, the one of their forwards who's really lightning quick, isn't she? Uh, they got her free, and she put a smart finish away.
Mm. I personally, I didn't know. I mean, basically, we know the US of A. They are ranked number one. I thought it'd be a tough match. I think the best I can say is I hoped our girls were going to do it, and they did. It was very unevenly matched, wasn't
Yeah.
it? An
Well,
even
you've
goal.
got to think they are world champions,
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
you're not expecting an easy ride.
Yeah, and
So
I personally, I keep banging on. I'm not the technical person, but I found it enjoyable to watch because you weren't sure how it was going to go. Tactically, it was a really good match to watch, and obviously we got the result we wanted.
yeah, I thought again, no, no slight on Laura Greenwood, but she's not got that sort of pass that
Mm.
Williamson got,
Oh gosh, yeah, we missed her.
and I think we suffered a little bit with that trying to
Mm.
get past their press, and it took us time to slowly figure it out. But it's good to have different options if players are injured, and
Well, yes, as with anybody with well, as we know with Arsenal in general, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, injuries happen. So you can bring on. I think the only disappointment, actually for me, and I'll go on to the second game, but in particular, well, actually, this is a double-edged sword because Lotta, our Lottie, I really want her to play for England. But in the same token, with injuries at the moment, I'm rather glad she didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, big one. And going on to that second one, I really didn't do any research about the Czechoslovakian, whatever they call themselves these days, their women's team, and I thought it'd be a bit of a walk in the park, and it wasn't. It was it.
No, they're actually a very well organised team,
Mm,
and defensively very hard
mm,
to break down. We
mm.
had chances, but they were very quick to get reorganised, and again, there were more changes in that game, uh,
Yeah.
and we just didn't quite click the
Mm,
final ball. The uh, and you could see, but again, it's good. You will come again against teams like that that are hard to break down, hard to get a descent defensively strong. So you've
mm.
had two different types of opposition.
Yes.
You've not conceded. You've not conceded against Czechoslovakia. You've uh, taken the USA all the way, and you've got a psychological hurdle of beating them,
Mm,
and knowing you can play and play against these teams and do well. It's all about building up that squad depth,
mm.
building up that confidence going into the World Cup. I mean, that's another game undefeated for Serena. So it just gives that self belief. Every game that she does this, it's adding to that self belief. We can't be beaten.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, as I say, that one I technically found a frustrating game, but I saw the merits of it, and the main thing is the girls didn't lose. Okay, yeah, we summed that one up. Right, before I go into the next one, have you got anybody on chat? Because I've really plugged this one tonight.
Yeah, it's well, we've got Ashley D at the moment, and
Ashley.
he says, "Hey up, Gooners. Hi, Ashley. How are you?" And he was. We've got, and he's talking about tonight's game.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, I mean, we will get back to that. I mean, I'd like to go on with the just touch a little bit more on the Lionesses against USA, because that was probably a very strong match. It was sort of we got the second goal just before half time, didn't we? And it was because there was a high foot on. I can't remember. Was it on? There was a high foot in the box, and it went to VAR, and then Stanway put it away. Second half was sort of we looked dangerous when breaking the press out of the game, and they had one there where it was offside because the ball was played through and the player hadn't touched it in the build up, and she was offside in the initial bit. So those are marginal calls, but I felt we handled the whole game really well. And again, it was a practical full house. It gave you an insight on how to play that team. I mean, America are probably going to be a team in transition between now and the World Cup, because they've got a lot of older players, haven't they? And that was they've got Rapinoe's 30 something. So they're all on the coming to the end of their career. Yeah. But they've got some exciting talent like Sabine Smith coming through. And again, it bodes well for a woman's game. I mean, I'd love to see Sabine Smith or Sabina Smith in Arsenal colours. She is lightning quick. Having somebody that quick in your team's always good. So and that really tops the two Lionesses games up. I still haven't seen what Leah Williamson's injury is.
Do you know what I do? There's a Facebook group, and I've been plugging our show and I've had some really good response on that. But yeah, that they're pretty informative, and in between whatever you see on Twitter, and yeah, she's on crutches. We don't know basically.
Yeah. I mean, I'd seen in the American one, because she was there in the American, but there was crutches on the rail in front of her. But I haven't actually seen any news on what that injury is. So
yeah.
I mean, it might be precautionary, but it might be serious. So it would be nice to get a clear indicator of what the problem is.
Right. We'll talk quite in depth actually about the Reading game a bit later on. But all right, Reading hopefully, but more for the game that you'll be going to. Man U, that is like Man U. Come on now, yeah.
It's good. I mean, they're second in the table at the moment, so I'm looking forward to that. So
Gosh, yeah, I'm terribly envious actually. Well,
Yeah, well, the daughter's bought it for me for my Christmas present, so which is nice of her. And we're going to watch. We're in the clock end, just to the right of the goal, right at the front. So it should be a really good match.
absolutely, yeah. Okay, right. So we've done the Lionesses. Right. So we were going to talk about this, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be really blunt here. I only listened to, and I was quite lucky because I was work for the first half, but not many children. I listened to most of the first half, and then I managed to get home and more or less catch all the second half. And I'm going to be very honest. At which point my daughter came in. We've had a few events going on here, another story, and talking about a day, and I actually switched off it from completely. So, Richard, did you actually get to watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the first half while eating dinner, and then I watched the second half while I was having a bath. So, but yeah, it was it wasn't the thriller that the Liverpool game was, but you made changes to that team. You're away in Norway in really cold conditions. Yeah, I mean it was 8 degrees, I think they said, and probably lower than that out on the pitch because they're in the studio. So it was probably like lower than the 8 degrees. It's an artificial. It's a 3G pitch. So, and they've only had one training session on it. I thought they controlled the game reasonably well. There were a few chances for BODO GLIMT, but remember this BODO GLIMT drew with PSV. They beat Roma last year twice. Only lost to them in the knockout stages eventually. They're no mugs. We got the goal, a bit fortuitous maybe, but we'd had a chance before that, which Nketiah couldn't quite get to.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, I don't think it didn't look to me like we were in trouble. I didn't think BODO GLIMT was going to score, and that says a lot about the game. I think we could have probably had a little bit more control, but it's very hard when you're putting your second string out and you're giving them minutes to in case you need them in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, and it's very hard to get any rhythm when you're only playing one match every other week, and you're not playing week in, week out. You're not going to get that match fitness, that rhythm that you need. So yeah, it wasn't the intensity we've used to, but I'm also glad we didn't play at that intensity. I think if that we'd played, and I think maybe Mikel Arteta had said, I don't want you press a high intensity press because I don't want to risk injuries on that pitch, and also this team is very good at getting past the press, and I don't want to be. And we saw a couple of times they nearly got through. But I'd like to point out Turner had a very good game. He came out, he dealt with anything that got through. He cleared. We haven't seen much aerially of him, and the one that right at the end he dealt with. He had one shot to save, which he saved, and overall distribution of a ball has improved again, and he's slowly picking that up. Rob Holding, he had an okay game. Reece Nelson probably a standout, and I know some of the players there So I think it was Glenwyn in the chat in the pod group said that he thought he was on the wrong side.
Well, that was me actually.
Yeah. For me, he plays his best game on the left-hand side.
Okay.
All the times I've seen him, and we tried him on the right in pre-season, he didn't play particularly well. Moved him over to the left when they brought changes on in pre-season, and actually he picked up. But yeah, I mean,
fair enough.
It's job done, isn't it? You're never going to you're not going to win either way. You either thrash them and it's only BODO GLIMT, or you struggle and it's you think. But you've won another game. You've not lost. You've kept a clean sheet away from home, and you keep that momentum on going and that confidence going.
Yeah.
And I think that's all you can do, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Fair play to Turner. Yeah, he needs to get his game time, especially hard for a goalkeeper, obviously, when you're second choice. And also coming into English football, the Premier League and European football. So, yeah, he's done okay, actually. Yeah. Good to see Reece out there because I'm a big fan of Reece, and I listen to what you're saying. If that's
and I think that's 3 goals in 2 games for Saka as well, wasn't it? So
that was good. Yeah,
and so 4 goals all in all this season. So we're ticking over the goal scorers. I know Jesus was injured, but I think it was more precautionary. So, and I'm expecting him to be fit for the weekend. I mean, we'll know more Saturday. Press conference time. I think it will be Saturday, but it's job done. Arteta won't be pleased. We know he won't, but he'll be pleased with the result. But he won't be pleased with the performance. But at the end of the day, sometimes you've got to win that ugly.
Well, yeah, it's like I say, job done. End of. Right, but anybody else in the chat? Sorry.
Yeah, there's plenty in the chat. You've got Alex. Thank you, Alex. You've got John, Evening Gooners, a solid win and hopefully no injuries. Yeah, that's the important thing. Coming away from a game like that with no injuries, especially on the pitch like that. What's that? Come on. Alex again, could the Leeds game be a potential banana skin?
I think it's probably like we're going to go on to our ladies. You think it should be an easy match? It probably won't be by anybody's standard.
Well, I mean, they're a high intensity, high pressing team. We're away from home. We've just had Liverpool, which is a tough game. We've just gone away to BODO GLIMT.
Yeah.
But it's one we should win. There are issues. But as long as we're solid and as long as we do the right things, we should come. I mean, Crystal Palace beat them just. Crystal Palace had to come from behind to beat them 2-1. Yeah, but Crystal Palace struggled with them. So that tells you the sort of team and the sort of problems we're going to have. But with the confidence this team's got, the way we're playing, we get an early goal. I think we go on to win that and come away and just build up, keep that pressure on the teams around us, and that's all we can do. But yeah, it is a potential banana skin.
Actually, I'll tell you. Okay, this will take me back to something I mentioned to you earlier. My partial Northern Irish roots. What's happened to that Dallas chap who plays for the national side? Didn't someone break his leg at the end of last season?
Yeah, is it Stuart Dallas?
Yeah, Stuart Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's injured. I don't know how he was injured, but I believe he's injured.
And it was a really bad break. And I remember their manager and I quite like him. What's his name? Their manager. I quite like him actually. And yeah, I actually, unintentionally saw him on YouTube talking about it. And yeah, it was and considering the guy's age, because he's early 30s now. And yeah, it was a really, so he may not even come back into football now.
It depends on how he recovers, isn't it? And it's. I mean, I used to play rugby as scrum half for under 18s for my local team, and I broke my collarbone in one match in 3 places, and physically I came back fine. But it's a psychological thing. You go into a contact, and you wonder if and you go into a scrum, and you wonder if you're going to break your shoulder, and you pull out a little, and you pull out of tackles, and you and you drop 5%, and that's a hard thing to do in any sport, and especially, and that's where he will have to, whether he can get over it mentally.
Okay. I'm just to be honest, I mean, because the one that I always liked was Calvin Phillips, and of course he's gone.
Oh yeah, I wanted him for us. I felt he'd have been a great addition to and bring him along as Partey's replacement eventually. But you're not surprised he went to Man City. They've got the money. They're title winners, and once he's fit, he hasn't been fit for them very often. He will fit into that team, and they will just keep chugging along as they are doing. Got this one from Ashley D. I like this one. 8 degrees cold. You're having a laugh. I'm cutting my pitch in a t-shirt. Ashley D. I said it was probably colder than 8 degrees, but I used to work in before my disease last year. I used to work in minus 25 degrees freezers in a shirt like this. So no, it's not that cold, but it is colder than these players have been playing in, and on an artificial pitch, which is will be a little bit frosty. The ball will kick and bounce. Sliding on it's not nice. Yeah, burns and other injuries. It's not something that they're used to. The BODO GLIMT players are used to it all the time. It's not as if we go up to Stoke or go and play in the Pennines every week.
That's why they put Tierney on, because he scored.
Yeah, because he's probably used to the weather. He's probably thinking it's more like summer.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's another player, and that takes me back to when we did an easy talk in the brown paper envelope bag. Katie, he's such an Arsenal man. Yeah, let's hope he can really get on top of the injuries now.
Yeah. I mean, that if he stays fit, he could be very useful, especially it's in those important parts of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to a World Cup, so that's neither is Zinchenko. So these are the sort of players that you are going to be useful as soon as we come back from the World Cup, because they're the sort of players that will go to warm weather training, and for a couple of weeks you can maybe rest rest a couple players and get them back to so they're not in that red zone, as it's so called.
Yeah. Any more? Sorry, I've got my glasses on.
Alex says on the channel, Saka is on 38% of the vote for man of the match.
Oh,
I'm not surprised. He scored a goal and he caused a lot of problems on that side of the pitch. I mean, he created a chance that Nketiah couldn't put away early on as well. And overall, his performance was probably
yeah.
him and Nelson were probably and Saliba were probably the standout outs on the pitch, weren't they? I mean, plus turnover. I can't think of too many that really did them. Odegaard, he does what he does, and he always does that. So but I don't think any of the other fringe players really put their hands up and said, "Oh, I need to start week in, week out there," which is a shame. But apart from, as I said, Reece and Matt, but you'd expect Matt Turner to come in if Ramsdale got an injury. Anyway.
Yeah. No, it's good to see Matt Turner play, and he'll just gain experience from this, and we need him to be all right next. End of. Okay, right. We've probably dissected that one. Yeah, we'll go Saka for man of the match. I tell you, and when I was able to listen, particularly Nigel Winterburn seems to be the regular one on the Arsenal app now, and I do.
Yeah, him and David Hillier. I like both. I like both of them when they're commentating in the French guy that's on there sometimes.
Jeremy,
they're probably my free favourite on there. So
they're very good.
They're very, very pretty.
And now I never get Perry. Just now coming on the app. So once again, we love Perry. Yep. So they've got good quality, and I love the guy who does it for the Premier League, Dan Roebuck. He is very good at his commentary, and whoever he gets. Absolutely excellent. Okay, right. We're now going to go on to Sunday. Well, actually, it's going to be a busy Sunday, isn't it?
Yes, because we've got the men's at, is it 2 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm sure it's 2.
And then the women's are at 6:45, aren't they?
6:45. Sorry, that's the one.
Yeah, it's my bugbear time. It's not a family friendly time for me.
Yeah. That is absolutely spot on. Right, actually, I just want to check that because I did write that down. I'm sure I did, but it's not showing up on my notes now. I know it's going to be on Sky Sports, which is
that's that was my bugbear with the Man United match. It was on Sunday. It was going to be on Sunday the 20th, but they've moved it to Saturday the 19th. Fortunately, I'm not working on the Saturday either. So, but they moved it to accommodate Sky Sports.
It's just so annoying. Right, okay, so I'm going to preview the WSL Reading game, and excuse pronunciations, and of course it'll be played at their stadium, which has recently changed name actually to the Majeski.
Yeah. I think that's after their chairman or ex-chairman, Phil. Was it Steve or Phil Majeski? I think it was. I can't remember, but yeah.
Okay, and it has a capacity of 24,161, and I love the one bit at the end.
Yeah, that one's always important.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's hope it's fairly tracked out. And another bit, because like I said, I really don't know anything about Reading at all. And founded in 2006, so 16 years ago, which is good for the women, isn't it? You know,
it's a relatively new club, but it's good, but they're there and they're in being competitive. So
yeah, and also Kelly Chambers, former captain. Now she is the first team manager, and then we've got. She is assisted by the head coach Phil Cousins. So I couldn't quite work that out from what I read. Are we going to see Phil alongside Jonas, on the touchline in the dugout, or do we see her? I don't know. And then you have your assistant. I couldn't work.
Yeah, it's a bit weird how they've done that. I assume that he's first team coach and she's like team manager, so she deals with all the logistics, the buying and the players and stuff like that. So, but he does all the coaching. He I think he's coached one of the big teams before.
Oh, okay.
The names stands out for a reason.
Okay.
I'm not too sure why, but it's just one of those that you sort of, the name rings a bell sort of thing.
Okay. Something else I researched, and I wasn't going to troll every single player because, like I said, I didn't really know who their players are or were. Something I did come across. They've got quite a lot of international players. That's interesting. I mean, they've got a Belgian midfielder, they've got a Northern Irish midfielder, they've got a USA defender, and I mean, no disrespect to them, haven't bothered naming them because I'm just thinking who would impact our ladies. And first off, goalkeeper Grace Maloney. All right, bit like myself, Irish descent, but she does play for the Republic. But when I looked, and I didn't obviously view it in any shape or form, but I kind of assumed she'd be the number one goalkeeper, but I don't think she is for the Republic of Ireland. But she's obviously got to be of a certain standard.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm now thinking about Katie. She will be known to our Katie in that national team. So I thought, that's what I think.
And we've got we got Japanese Wooch people. One of ours is I think is she Japanese or Korean?
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't.
So she should know. She should know have some knowledge of there as well. And these players will have played against each other before, so they will know. I mean, what do you know? How many goals they've conceded this?
Well, they haven't. I didn't actually check how many goals, but they haven't won anything.
So it,
I couldn't even. I can't even without looking. I couldn't even tell you they actually played. But
it's not particularly important, is it? I mean, I think it's going to be a strange one because I always find after these international breaks, you're struggling to get the rhythm back, and you try get that rhythm that you had before you went away, and especially in the men's, and you've had 2 games within a week for the ladies, so you're not expecting Leah Williamson to be playing because she unless it's only was only a minor and they didn't risk her for either of those games, but
we got Raffaelli as well.
So she's out, and that's a fracture that could be 6 to 8 weeks, depending on what type of fracture and how quick she heals, etc. So that might be probably a worry. I mean, we know Lottie can slot in there.
Well, you got Jen Beattie, haven't you? So
yeah,
I mean, be the natural pairing from what I've read. Yeah, I mean, and Jen Beattie, didn't she play to get some minutes for Scotland?
yeah. So it's not all doom and gloom, but as I said, it's just I can see we might struggle for a little while in that match, just get our rhythm back and get.
Yeah.
But these are the ones that you want to go on and win. They're the ones you need to win.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just going to bring a couple of others. Another one that I saw, and I couldn't even. I'm not going to. I'll try and pronounce her name. Now, 1 minute she's a forward, and then next minute I think she's a forward for Norway and a midfielder for Reading. So, okay, interesting. Amali, Eichland. But I thought once again, thinking of Frida, she's probably known to Frida.
Yeah,
So, yeah. That can be interesting. Now this is an interesting one. Emma McCandy, I think I've pronounced her name right. You may know this name. She used to be known as Emma Mitchell. She's an ex-Arsenal player.
Yeah, Emma Mitchell. I wouldn't have recognised the first name, the McGandy one, but Mitchell I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And because she's obviously playing for Scotland. Yeah. Sorry, and I researched that. Did come on the 66th minute for Scotland. So yeah, she's getting that. All right, sadly for them, it didn't work out. But it's
but still international players, still international quality. So I mean, it's not as if it's San Marino or Liechtenstein or.
And once again, she's going to be known to Jen as well. So that'll just be interesting, that they'll actually, to a degree, know how those players play. So, yeah. Another one I finally caught was a forward, striker, whatever capacity, Deanne Rose. And she's Canadian and plays for a national team. And I don't quite know where the Canadians are ranked in the.
Yeah, again, it's a difficult one. Because the standout team is in the world is America, and they get overshadowed somewhat. But and then you're looking at your Germanys and your likes and your Dutch and your Spanish and now until recently. I mean, I'm expecting going into World Cup because the rankings are going to be looked at in a few weeks. I'm expecting with the USA England result, I'm expecting us to jump up to number one in the world.
Yeah. Near enough. Yeah.
Yeah, if we're not, it'd be a very big surprise. But I don't think
for a friendly. It's a bit like when Arsenal were playing back in the summer, wasn't it? Particularly with Czechs. Never a friendly, and it just, even if it's a psychological thing, isn't it? It just but for the women's especially, we should have gone up by now. I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean I don't know what the English ranking was because I don't tend to look at international rankings for any. Even when I'm watching the rugby, I don't bother with the international rankings, to be honest. But it's I know that they do change quite dramatically after when they pick up. So it wouldn't surprise me if we went to number one on that showing.
I shall check that one out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the final point on this: Arsenal are top with 6 points, and basically,
there's about 5 or 6.
Which is the bottom of the WSL, and they've got a goal difference of -5.
Yeah, so they've conceded a few. I would. Yeah, I mean we are top but there are 4 or 5 teams on 6 points as well. But we've got a superior goal difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it? 4-0 and 4-0, wasn't it?
4-0, and what was the other one? I can't remember.
Yeah, we know the Spurs one was 4-0. The other one was quite a big score as well. Well, Brighton 4-0, 2 4-0. So it was so we got a +8 goal difference.
Yeah.
So get a win against Reading, just get the points on the board, get because we'll have harder teams to come against. We're going to have the Chelseas, the Cities, and the Uniteds to play, and they're the ones that are important.
Yeah, just to bring you into the match that you'll be going to. I'm going to come back to Chelsea in a minute, but I think Man U is going to be such a big contender this year. I really do.
Because it would be, depend whether they got Russo back and stuff. The keeper's pretty decent. She's not a bad keeper, but she's going to have to keep on her toes because there are a lot of keepers pressing her for her English spot as well. So she'll have to keep playing well. And it's United, so you'd hope it would be a decent game. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And what I will be taking notes and bits and pieces. And I'll try and get a slideshow on there. I know there's a thing on here, so we can put some up on here.
Oh, that'd be really good. And also,
so when I come back on the following Thursday, we do a review of the show. If I can get I'll have a tinker around with it and see if I can get it into get them up and get a few shots up from the game.
No, that'd be brilliant. And also just to get the experience, because it's great. I can view it on the telly or on the Arsenal. Well, it wouldn't be on the Arsenal, but if I'm lucky enough to watch it on telly because BBC is showing it, just to get that experience in the stadium. I'm not looking Meadow Park because I'd really still love to go to Meadow Park. It's somewhere I haven't been. Yeah, to be.
It's not one I've been to, Meadow Park either, but it's most of the women's games I've seen is seen on TV. So, or when they've been down closer away from home. So it's but it is an atmosphere, isn't it? I mean, my daughter went to the Lionesses USA one, so and she got somebody did a picture, put a picture up on Facebook, and she managed to find herself in there, and then she sent me some videos clips of them in the crowd. So
brilliant, yeah.
But she enjoyed that, and I think it will be an atmosphere. You're going to have sort of hopefully 50 odd plus thousand there, and you're going to be so you'll get an atmosphere there. As I said to you, I watched the Ajax game and I felt the atmosphere was a little flat, but it was a small ground. I think the max attendance was around about 15,000, and they had 10,000 at the game. So you do notice it.
I'll be honest with you. When I went to the Chelsea FA Cup final, the lockdown one as we call it, we're in Wembley, big attendance. That was a flat atmosphere. Maybe the weather conditions were horrible, but I think that will probably change since what the Lionesses have done. Because I was so up for that, and I found it a very flat atmosphere, sadly. But I think that would change now.
Yeah, I think with what the women have done in the Euros, and the game is progressing, and you're getting back to some sort of normality now. So hopefully I mean, as you said, yeah, it was just around COVID. You just weather wasn't good, so
horrendous.
so it was probably a mixture of all those things impacted on the atmosphere. John saying in these circumstances playing the Arctic, this was a great result. He says game, but he means result. He says puts it in just after, and again you it's job done, isn't it? It doesn't have to be pretty as long as you get a result.
Yeah.
I mean, as fans, we love every game to be like the Liverpool game. I'll be honest. I mean,
That's life. That's really.
I would, but can your heart survive that sort of
Well, exactly.
back and forth all the time?
I mean, most of the time I'm just listening to it, and it can be bad enough when it's that kind of high octane, and you think, oh, God. And especially right at the end when it's like you're clinging on to life, isn't it? It's like, let it end. We've won next, or sometimes it's a draw and you cling on. But today's game, it really was a job done.
Lynn's come on. Nice to see you, Lynn. Great to have you on the show in the chat. And Matt Turner she thought Matt Turner was man of the match. He made some good saves, distributed the ball well. The game wasn't what we're used to, but we got 3 points. I on the early bit, I had said, but I felt Matt Turner did well. He got to a ball as well. He came out with he played the sweeper keeper role really well. I think that's probably where he's slightly better than Ramsdale is as that sweeper keeper. Ramsdale has a tendency to not be sure whether to come or go back, and his shot stopping's decent, and he did distribute really well when he had to, and it's improved from the Zurich game, and it's improved from the last game. So he still had gradually getting better, and it's just going to take time because he's not getting many minutes, and he's only getting the 2 chances on the training pitch. So, but you need him to be improving all the time. That's all you can ask for from your backup keeper.
I'll tell you now, God forbid, because I really love Ramsdale, and I don't want anything to happen to him. But if Matt Turner has to come on, and say it was like when we next played Tottenham, whenever, if he saves a Son or Kane penalty, it'll be world class, or even better, Haaland penalty. You are world class.
So anyone saving the Haaland penalty would be world class at the moment.
That might.
That guy. Mind you, they rested him midweek just for the Liverpool match. They say, "Oh, he's looking a little tired." No, you just want him. You just want him raring to go to put Liverpool to the sword.
That's it. And I tell you what amused me, I kept seeing on all the feeds about how excited the Norwegians were tonight and how
I think in both games.
God, they get excited about Martin. What the heck are they going to do if they saw Haaland? That's ultimate, wouldn't it? And I love Martin. I think he's doing a great job. But
I think their fans were fantastic. Both legs. They were outstanding, and they have to be congratulated.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, I thought it was even funnier that because once again their love for Martin and actually being like a national hero, and they were told you can't wear anything Arsenal, which I found quite amusing. But I saw some footage where they were over here, and wasn't it like yellow flag? They just really went to town, and they were good fans, it's good to see. Good on them.
We've got even the snowmen were freezing.
What's that?
That's John.
Sorry, I can't see that. Put the glass on. Even the snowmen were freezing. Gosh, imagine if we'd gone in there in real winter.
Yeah. Well, it's only a month away, isn't it? Their league ends in November because it's too cold.
Yeah.
Good points, Lynn. This was a great game for Turner to get under his belt from John. Cannon for fodder. Alex says, Lynn Simpson, good evening to you, and I hope you're doing well. Let's try and get you onto the channel sometime. Yeah, we'd love you on the
Oh, Lynn, please come back me up. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we'd love you to get you on this segment.
No, we
one
really
week.
all women, please come on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I think that Matt Turner is more concentrated than Ramsdale.
Mm.
I don't. Yeah, I think he's probably Ramsdale has that rash moment and that lapse of concentration into him. I do, but and he's probably a little more mature. He's come into the game later as well, but he doesn't look like he's going to do anything silly at any moment.
Yeah, more mature. Obviously, he's new to the Premier League. Yeah, I can see a lot of potential. I backed him from the beginning, slightly wavered, maybe listened to a few other people as well as what I saw. I'm going to backtrack on that now. Yeah, I think it's going to come good.
Yeah.
It's going to come good.
And it's probably the one position on the pitch that you don't have. Not many teams have competition where they have two outstanding things, but they have one world class and one maybe decent, and that's most teams are like that. But he's a USA international. He's a decent shot stopper. His one-on-one decisions are normally very good, and his shot stopping's on par with Ramsdale. So the only thing that he had to improve on was his from when I'd seen him on the MLS on the shows was his distribution, and he from what I've seen then to now, he has improved on that, and he's improving as we go along.
That's fine. That's good.
Let's try and get that one up. Good evening, folks. Are you all okay? I think. I mean, I know I am a little bit tired today from work, but it's my second day back in work after COVID, so it's and it's been pretty rushed because I've come home. I've had to clear up from the boys' night last night, and then it was dinner, bath, and get on for a show. So, but
I say Richard is such a trooper. He is totally diehard. He had COVID last week. He wasn't well, and he still insisted on doing this show.
Yeah, there's not much that will keep me from doing it. I mean, so as long as I'm able to do it, I was. I didn't feel 100%, but I was. It's not taxing it. I just sat in bed and and did it from bed, which. I'm in the back bedroom this week from the front room, so the signal's a lot better. That was what I was worried about last week, was would I have a decent you're right. I like this one. What do you think about the pundit from Lynn again? What do you think about the pundits saying how lucky we were on Sunday, and even Klopp was trying to say they were better than us, than even Tommy, even though Tommy had Salah in his pocket all game. Well, then I think it's laughable. We totally dominated that second half. First half, it was pretty even. I think Liverpool probably shaded the first half and probably were unlucky to go in 2-1 down. But we had 7 shots on target. They had three all game. and we had an XG of 3.3. They had one of them 0.87, and you can debate whether the penalty should have been given or not given on either side. And yeah, okay, I would have wanted the Gabriel one handball given if that was us and down in their penalty area, and I wouldn't want the Jesus one given against us. But it was contact, and handball is a subjective decision. Was he too close or not? That's down to the referee. And had the referee given the penalty, for the handball, VAR wouldn't have turned it over. And the same with the Jesus one. If he hadn't given the penalty to Jesus, VAR isn't overturning that. So because it's not a clear and obvious error. So so he didn't make a mistake. He made the correct call in both. And it would have been the correct call if he'd given it the other way as well. It's one of those 50-50. You get a bit of the rub of the green sometimes. And for Klopp, it's just pure bad sportsmanship. I do not know a manager who ever is always saying, "Oh, we played well," and he gives his opponents credit when they win. But once they lose, it's a referee decision. Yeah. Oh, we didn't do things right. He never gives credit to it, and he's flustered because he did what there was a journalist question that referenced the Harmon, and he got flustered and he with it, and he wasn't particularly nice in his reply to that. But you're not expecting, is it? Where it was Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara, was a couple pundits that were saying we were lucky, but they're Tottenham and ex-Tottenham and Chelsea. So you're not. I mean, Tim Sherwood praised us. Michael Owen praised us. So they're very rare in their praise for Arsenal. So I'll take it in the pinch of salt. It doesn't matter because as long as we're winning games, that's all they've got to moan about. Then let them moan.
Spot on. Sorry, I just want to come in there. We haven't found out yet the controversy of what Henderson allegedly said to our Gabriel.
Yeah. Well, it's been reported to.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, it depends exactly what was said, doesn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, Henderson's going to deny he said anything, and Gabriel's going to say, "Well, he did," and then the FA will decide whether they need to get a lip reader in to interpret, to see if they can tell what was said on over the cameras and from various angles, and you expect the FA to deal with it if it's upheld, and if it's not, and whatever it is, we'd like an explanation.
Yeah,
as paying fans, and as there was nothing. They come out if nothing was, and it was just a little bit of mouthing off.
Yeah.
Fine, you say it was nothing to do. We draw a line on the thing. If there was something else and it was more serious, this is what I said. We're banning him, etc. And get on.
Well, let's be blunt here. If it was in any way racist or derogatory,
well, they have to ban. Yeah, if it was racist, and it'd be very hard to see it see Henderson being racist, but maybe in a moment, but maybe because they just lost the penalty, he's lost his head a little bit, and he said, but whatever he said,
well, yeah, whatever.
Gabriel has taken offence. It doesn't matter whether it's racist or whatever it is.
No, I've told you.
And
before.
that's the thing is,
Yeah. And also,
you said something, somebody's taken offence to it,
yeah.
and it doesn't matter what it is. Once you've offended somebody,
Well,
you need to apologise and be a man about it and apologise and hope and get it over and done with.
and I would think it would probably, whatever Henderson did say, would be kind of short and sweet, because as I keep banging on, I love, he is my favourite Gabriel. And we know for a fact that his English is not that brilliant. We know it. And that is not being derogatory to him. That's a fact. So it would have had to be something short and sweet for him to.
Yeah, and something that he could something he could understand as well. So yeah.
And Brazilian chap. I mean, they did do like freeze it, and he didn't look too happy. I think he looked really worried about the whole situation. What's his name?
Yeah, Firmino.
Yeah, that one.
And it's hard to. I mean, I didn't quite like the still picture, because it doesn't really tell.
Yeah.
Because he could have been worried about the fact that there'd been a bit of a shoving and pushing, and either Henderson could get himself sent off from the aftermath of that, and it could not have anything to do with what Henderson's actually done, but because he's had a little bit of shoving and throwing, and then he's grabbed Xhaka and had a bit of shoving with him, so it could be the fact that he's a little bit concerned what might transpire in the aftermath of those events. So I think it'd be very hard to draw any conclusion. We have to wait and see, and hopefully that it'll get all cleared up, and whatever it is, the FA will be transparent with it and say there's no further. We've investigated it, and as far as we're concerned, the matter's closed, or we have found something. This is what was said, and this is how we're going to deal with it. And that just transparency and quickness, just to, so it's because it overshadowed a great game.
Oh gosh, yeah, glorious game, really.
Yeah. And she said, Klopp doesn't make excuses when Salah dies and get penalty. It's only when it's Arsenal. It's when it's any other team. And he's not a very good sport. And I've got on the boys' night. I've got one of my mates is a Liverpool fan, and I've always said that Klopp reminds me of a psychopath with that smile. He's got his grandparents buried under the patio. He's the type of guy who does that. That's what he reminds me of. Oh, where did that one go? I think what it is a rubber green doesn't go our way very often, and having Mo, he will give them benefit of the doubt, and I don't think I think they were shocked when it went our way. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. There are plenty of times when decisions have gone our way, not gone our way. It did. City last season is an example, but when you're playing well and you're putting a thing in the referee's mind that you're on top, and you're creating pictures in the referee's head, and with the crowd this season is quite vociferous. You're making it harder for a referee to decide against you, and I think you earn those rubs of the greens in games sometimes. By they hadn't cleared. They were under pressure. They hadn't cleared, and it's a soft penalty, but it's a penalty, and it's one of those. I'd hate an opposition player to go down like Jesus said, but if Jesus stands on his feet, he's not getting a penalty, even though he'd been kicked in the back of a hill. So he did the right thing. I think he forgets that. He forgets the stuff that goes for him. And
I can go back in 1 sec. Just keep talking.
Then again, before then, I think that Henderson tried to get Saka sent off. I think he instigated that to try and I think it was also to try and delay the penalty, try and get into unsettle Saka and try and get a little bit of. The longer you wait to take a penalty, the harder it is, just to make it that little bit harder as well. So, but it didn't work. We came out on top, and I mean, she's been saying before when I think Henderson tried to get Saka sent off, and I said, I think there was definitely a touch of that, but I also think it was trying to get just trying to delay the penalty, make it put a little bit more pressure on the penalty taker, which is Saka, and just try and maybe give his side a chance of coming away with something. But it didn't work, and Saka put away a penalty very calmly and very well. Even though Alisson went the right way, and I think Alisson is probably the best keeper in the league, or has been for the last couple of seasons anyway. He had a dodgy game against Brighton, but every keeper has a dodgy game here and there. And but he didn't get anywhere near it, even though he guessed the right way. It was
sorry to interrupt. So that's Saka's third penalty for us now, isn't it? Have I got that?
It's the third one since the Euros. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you
and it's three big matches against Chelsea, against Man United, and now against Liverpool.
I'm sorry, England penalty taker. Move over, Kane. Your days are numbered. Next.
Yeah, I mean, you got to say he's come back. He's come back from the disappointment of and from missing the Euros, and the abuse he suffered as well for missing, which I don't think was warranted. But that's because it's not easy standing in front of you got the nerves, you've got the crowd, you've got the keeper's a winner in that situation every single time. Because they're not going to moan that he didn't save it, and if he saves it, he's a hero, and the penalty takers, mate, they will always say, "Oh, it was at a savable height for the keeper, and it wasn't a very good penalty," and all sorts. So you taking a penalty, you'd never really in a winning position. But he's young. He takes that responsibility. He says, "Yes, I will take that. I will do that." And he's not done too badly since he's been taking them.
Yeah, oh well, no, I take my hat off because, penalties is one of those love-hate things. I usually think about when it's gone into extra time in, whatever cup game. And you literally, it's like you want to hide behind the settee, but you have to keep watching. And even in the ordinary matches, you've got nerves of steel today. And Saka, he's owning it. And at some point, he will miss one because that's life.
Yeah.
The man misses one now and again. Do you know what I mean? You're not, but the confidence it's given him now, so that if he does miss one in one of our matches, it doesn't matter. Because
No.
look, yeah, I won't have it. Well, I'd never abuse any of our players because we shouldn't be doing.
There's no need. I mean,
No,
at
it should
the end of the day, it's a game of football, and there
Yeah.
are much more important things in life.
yeah.
It helps. It makes it makes the rest of the week nice. But if it is affecting you that badly, then there's something seriously
yeah, you need help.
wrong.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, spot on. But yeah. Okay, have we got any more? Lynn, you've been such a brilliant contributor tonight.
Yes, and she has got another one. Apart from the abuse, in my opinion, this has made Saka stronger and has the mentality. Otherwise, if he hadn't, he'd still be missing pens. Yeah, I think he's come away from the Euros a stronger person. The support he received from all over the country in letters and they put up on the wall for him when he came back to the training ground, and they put an arm around him, and he's dealt with it, and he's been brilliant. And people have said he hasn't been performing this season. Well,
yeah,
that's 4 goals and 3 assists now. So that's 7 goals.
He's been doing fine.
Yes, well, it might be 4 and 4 actually, but that's 7 or 8 goal contributions this early in the season. So he's doing fine. Yeah, but you look at what he's dealing with every game. He's being kicked. He's having two players on him all the time.
Yeah, he's getting marked, as you say.
He's getting marked out. They're trying to mark him out on matches. But by doing that, Martinelli on the other side and Jesus in the middle are getting better, and other players are getting more freedom. You can't mark every single player out of a match. So it's good for us, and long may it continue. And for us, hopefully all the women's form continues, and they win the title again this year. I mean, that would be great, wouldn't it? If they got the title this year.
What, the WSL at Arsenal?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I told you. That's why I was gutted. I'm sorry, I weren't gutted about the men's. I knew what it'd be. Yeah. I wanted to be the Invincible that year.
Yeah.
Gosh. And it was that one, I can't remember who it was against, and it was that one game they lost. And I just knew then, I thought, you've blown it. I was sorry.
Well, maybe they'll do it this year.
I hope so. I really do. I really do.
Alex has got a question, and he says, "Has Ainsley Maitland-Niles' England career ended?" I believe so. I mean,
really sad.
He's a decent utility player. He's not, and he should have a decent career somewhere else. And maybe if he buckles his head and gets his head down, works hard, he might get a chance. But I don't see it. I don't think he'll get another chance with England. To be honest, there are better players. Better players at right back or left back, and they're better midfielders. So, to be honest, it's a shame, but he's just not applied himself. Unfortunately, he had the chance when he went to Roma, and Mourinho didn't fancy him. He'd give him a chance and said, just made his decision that he wasn't good enough. But again, West Brom was the same, wasn't it?
Well, I just don't think he was good enough, sadly.
No. Yeah.
I'm always saddened when it's a Highlander, as I call them. But yeah, he just weren't good enough. And I think he's got to lower his expectations a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It is unfortunate, and he can have a decent career. And maybe when he's older, he will be of enough quality. And then says one other thing, we must give the Kroenkes credit because they have supported both the women's manager and Mikel, and they both young, but up to now, neither have let the club down. Yeah, I think, I mean, I put a thing in the Cannon for the chat, and I will point people towards it on YouTube. There was a David Ornstein article, especially it was about Mikel Arteta, Edu, and how the Kroenkes are allowing the people in the club to run the club, and have made improvements and have got to turn things around. But yeah, I think you since they've gained full ownership, you can criticise them before that for the lack of investment and thing, and you can criticise them for to a degree for the things they've allowed to go on under their tenure, but since Mikel Arteta's come in and Edu's come in, they've backed them, and they've done the same with Jonas Idra. They backed them with money, and it might not be their own money. They might have done it through loans or bits and pieces. But they have backed both managers, so you have to give them credit there. They've got to keep doing it, and they've got to prove that they're going to do it over a long period, and they're going to get Arsenal back to winning trophies, and the big trophies. If they can do that, then yeah, I think everyone will turn around and say, yeah, you're forgiven. You've proven that we're not just a cash cow, and that you're serious about us, and they can be forgiven like anyone else. So, I mean, we're quite a very forgiving fan base if you can prove us wrong. So we've been running for an hour and 20 minutes. So unless there's any other questions or comments, I think we might just wrap it up at that. That's not a bad run. And thank you for Lynn and all the other contributors in chat. And thank you for Alex for giving us this segment. And thanks, Ange, for giving us your time. And we'll see you all very soon next week, when we'll be reviewing you'll have a PSV game.
Oh, good.
You have the Leeds women's and the Arsenal women and the Arsenal Leeds match.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we got loads.
Yeah.
PSV game.
PSV game is on the Thursday, I think.
Well, yeah. What time?
It should be 5:45.
Oh, okay.
It's an early one, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it might. I think the rearranged home game is on the Wednesday, isn't it? When we were supposed to be playing City.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So, but yeah. So you all take care, and we'll catch. Oh, he says, sorry, I was the only one making comments. No, you weren't. You just came in when most of the other commenters had run out of things to say. So, and it's always good. It doesn't matter who makes the comments. It helps us and the others to because I'm sure there are people on the chat that don't actually just watch and don't comment, which is fine. But we love the interaction. So you too.
Yeah, please.
Alexa says it's 6 p.m. next, and it's at home.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So take care all, and until next Thursday.
Yes.
We'll,
Have a good week.
yeah, have a good week. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yeah.